Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Holly Berube and I am a relationship coach for strong, successful warrior women who feel like they can't quite be themselves in their relationships without causing conflict or rocking the boat. I work with women to show them how they can have effective, connected, loving communication that is clear and open, where they feel fully self-expressed, not just in their romantic partnerships, but all the relationships that they experience in their day-to-day life. If you're new here to my channel, hello and welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you considering giving this video today a thumbs up if you like the content, and of course, clicking that subscribe button and striking the little notification bell so that you never miss another weekly relationship tip from me in the future. Today, I want to talk with you about guilt. Now, this is something that often comes up for my clients in so many ways, but today I want to talk about it in the context of the moments where you witness someone that you care about in your life is going through a hard time. And I want to talk with you about where that guilt even comes from. Is there anything that you can do about it on their behalf or for them? Should you do anything at all? How do you tell the difference? And in time, how can you be the best possible support for this person that you care about? And then alleviating your guilt, rest assured that you have done everything in your power, and all you have to do from that point forward is look out for yourself and take care of you. A really common situation that my clients experience is with their significant other, where their partner is going through a rough patch, things are really stressful at work, or maybe they've lost their job, or there's a relocation, or the kids are acting up in the home and it's just causing your partner and or you to stress out. But ultimately, this is a situation where your partner is experiencing anything other than neutral to positive emotion. Your partner might be experiencing depression, anxiety, anger, frustration, sadness. You name it, it runs the gamut. Of course, you really care about this person, so you want to be the best possible support system that you can to them. Completely understandable. And so a couple of things happen in this moment. Oftentimes, something my clients do is they will go to their partner and start suggesting ways to navigate this emotion. So for example, if my client is very successful at navigating her own stress level or navigating and managing her own level of depression or anxiety, she might go to her partner and suggest, well, maybe you should talk to a therapist, or can you take some time off from work, or do you want some downtime? Do you want to go on a vacation? And she'll start suggesting all these things that he can do to get back to a place of neutral to positive emotion. Well, unfortunately, this sometimes backfires. And by sometimes, I mean often. What often happens instead is her partner interprets it as she is trying to fix him, or she is trying to solve his problem or his solution, and that she doesn't think that or trust that he can figure it out on his own. So inevitably, this causes a conflict, and this is why she ends up talking to me about it as her coach. So we want to be able to work through these moments. How can we support our partner, but also not step on their toes or give them the impression that we don't think that they got it, because we know that they have it? How do we balance out that nurturing, feminine, loving energy that we want to be there for them with the masculine energy that's also inside of us as women, where we want to fix problems and come up with a solution? So I want to rewind this back to the beginning. You first notice that your partner or your significant other is having a rough day, a rough week, a rough month, is just going through a tough time. They're experiencing an emotion that is on a regular basis, that is something that is lower than neutral, right? I said some earlier: sadness, anxiety, frustration, stress, etc. The first thing that you want to be with this person about is ask them, how are you? How are you feeling? Let them share what they are going to share. Now, the first step here is, if they are going to open up to you and share with you what they are feeling or experiencing, the best thing that you can do is listen to them and not interrupt them. The best thing you can do is listen to them and not interrupt them. And it's really, really important. And as you listen and listen and listen, notice if they want to share a little, if they want to share a lot. It does not matter. If you can sit and give them that space, that silence, where it gives them an opportunity to be open with you, to feel safe with you, to come forward to you, it will pay off, okay? They will begin to open up more and more over time. They also might not want to talk about it, especially men or masculine energy dominant persons. It's really important that they have their processing time, and that looks like being in a space where there is nothing else around, including you, unfortunately. It's going to be important to, if you do ask them and they do start to open up about what's happening in their life, that you don't interrupt them and you are an active listener. You'll know you're not being an active listener if you are thinking the entire time they're sharing of what you can suggest in order to fix it. After you've been completely receptive to what they have to say, the next thing out of your mouth should not be, here's how to fix it. The next thing out of your mouth should be, if anything, is there anything I can do to love you up or support you in this moment? It's so simple, but my point here is that the follow-up to listening is not you suggesting something. The follow-up to listening is you asking them a question of what they need in the moment. If we assume that they need something, or we give them something and they don't need it, they don't want it, we could actually contribute further stress to the situation. And we don't want that for them. We want to be an asset in their life, not a detriment in this situation. We want them to know that they can be safe with us and that we're not on a mission to fix all their stuff or handle all their problems. That we know that they have got this. So when they do tell you what they want or what they need in terms of support, sometimes they're going to say something like, I don't know. I need to think about it. Let them think about it. Just tell them, okay, I'm here for you. Think about it. If you think of something, just come tell me. That's it. You don't have to follow up. You don't have to ask them the next day. You just give them time. If they do ask you for something in terms of a support, then you can let them know whether or not you are ready and open to providing that to them to support them through the situation. It could be privacy. It could be time. It could be planning that vacation and getting out of town for a minute. It could be, hey, let's just go grab dinner and see a funny movie because I need to decompress in some way and just not think about what's stressing me out. But get on board with being that support system. If they do say something like, yes, a way you could support me is, do you have any ideas for me? Do you have any suggestions for me? Or another way to put this is, when you are offering them support, ask them, well, I have some ideas. Do you want to hear my ideas? They're either going to ask you for advice or you are going to offer advice. But again, the key here is it's a question on your part, not a statement. You are not going to swoop in and just tell them what to do. So if they ask you for advice or they agree to receiving advice from you, then lend the suggestion. This is going to support what they directly asked for and are open to receiving, and also gives you an opportunity to start to alleviate some of that guilt that you might feel when you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not doing anything for them. I'm not helping them through this. I'm being a poor partner to them. And so you offer them the suggestion. Then comes the next critical part. They're either going to take your advice or they're not. And it's really important that if they do, that you let them still handle it. And it's also very important that if they do not take your advice, that you also don't make it mean anything about you, your suggestion, your idea. It does not mean that your idea was less valuable. It simply means it doesn't click with them, or it's not hitting home or resonating with them in the way that they think it's going to get them closer to the solution that they are really after. What does this all have to do with guilt? It gives you an opportunity to come forth to your partner when he or she is really upset and offer your support in some way to them. To know that you have shown up for them will be the first step to alleviating the guilt on your side. If they are not sure what they need in the moment, or they ask for your advice but don't take your advice, again, it's not personal, and it doesn't mean that you should feel guilty that they didn't take the advice and it didn't pan out and now that's your fault too. Absolutely not. It just simply means like you have come to the table, you have offered what you have to offer, they've either received it or they haven't, and now you're going to go back to living your life and keeping your own mood and energy and vibration positive and up, because when you can keep your own self-regulated, optimism and good feeling up, it's simply going to help them to meet you there rather than joining them in their sadness or their frustration or their stress. You've got to take care of your own side of the fence and handle that. And you can rest assured and let go of any guilt that, oh, I did nothing. I wasn't there for them. It didn't pan out, right? There's a point where you just, again, the ball is in their court. It's their issue. It's their thing that they are going through, and you've got to let them handle it and trust that they can do it. So to recap today, when it comes to feeling guilt in your relationships, it's oftentimes because you feel like you have not been showing up for this person in the way that they really need it. And rather, instead of forcing what we think they should do or how we think they should handle something, offer our support and call it a day. Know that you've done absolutely enough by offering support, whether they take it or not, by offering to give them love in some way, whether they need it in the moment or not. You have done enough. And then you go back to handling your own life and your own situations and keeping yourself in a great space in your mind and in your heart and in your mood. Really hope some part of this today hit home for you, resonated with you. If so, I'd love to hear in the comments, have you ever had this happen to you? Or maybe somebody offered you advice or support and you weren't ready to take it and it just made things worse. Or maybe you noticed that you are the person that's constantly doling out a fix or an idea as opposed to sitting and simply listening and asking them, not assuming, but asking them what they need and providing it. I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment down below. And if any part of today's message really hit home for you, I would love for you to click that subscribe button, ring the little notification bell. I bring you fresh content every single week. And if the message really got you today, please click that thumbs up. It really helps in the YouTube algorithm to get more views here. Thanks again for joining me today. I hope to see you next time. And until next time, love always in always.